Hi everybody, we're talking about being too fussy when it comes to finding your partner, and joining us on the couch today is Denise Phillips. Hi Denise.
Hello.
I love your dress, by the way. You look absolutely gorgeous. Stunning, stunning, stunning. You are from Date on a Plate. I mean, what is it all about? Tell us a bit more about you.
Well, Date on a Plate is really an opportunity to meet new people. It is cookery classes for singles.
Right,
It's been going over 12 years.
Wow.
And from different ages, from age 25 to 65. And every week, every Sunday evening is a different food theme and age band for 10-year age bands. Wow. And it works. Because I care.
Could you give us any, without mentioning names, any success stories or things that have happened?
Well, I am one of them. That's how I met my husband. I've been married in September. It would be 10 years.
Wow, okay.
But there are loads, and over 10, should we say, I know about loads and loads of dating, relationships. We even have Date on a Plate babies.
Wow, okay. Wow. Ladies,
in the right order.
Oh yes, obviously. Ladies, any questions do you have for our lovely Denise before we go into these dishes that we can see here on our table?
So the statistics are higher than not when people meet, is it? How does it work? How do they get to know that you're there? How do they
know about Date on a Plate?
Yes.
Well, I have my own website, so dateonaplate.net. I also advertise. I have quite a big database. I've been running cookery school now for over 20 years, and I write quite a few cookery columns. I write for the Jewish News and the Jewish Chronicle, and so people do know about me. Okay. And more to the point, if you do anything for over 12 years, people talk and they network and they had a good time and they tell their friends and their family. And very sadly, there are a lot of single people out there. So Date on a Plate is a good place to come. It is a cookery class. They learn to cook as well as have a good time.
So typically on one of your sessions, what actually happens? So take us through what would actually happen.
They walk into my home, and this is based in Northwood, and what happens is I provide champagne and canapes and make them relax. And it's 6 men and 6 women, and I position them in my kitchen so it's male, female around the table. And at the very beginning, they all say a little bit about themselves, their passion, their interest, just a little something to break the ice. And then we make a 3-course meal together as a group. So whether they love cooking or hate cooking, they do like good food. And the good thing about it, more than else, but there's no embarrassing moments, because you walk into a room and you could be really shy. Or it could be what you say, what you do. Because you're cooking, it is interactive. It takes away those silent moments. So we cook a group, cook a theme. So it could be gourmet Greek or stylish Spanish or whatever, all the different themes. We cook for about an hour, and only 1 hour, because not everybody's there for the cooking. And then we eat in my dining room. And after each course, the men move round. And at the very end, I print off the email addresses of everyone that attends. So it's very safe, and it's very relaxed and very informal.
Okay. I have a question. Where did the idea come from? I mean, what motivated you to do? I'm interested to know anyway. Where did the idea come from?
Where did the idea come from? Well, a friend of mine suggested this. It's a bittersweet story. Very sadly, 15 years ago, my first husband died. Was young. I had 3 young children. Still needed to work to pay for their school fees, and still wanted to find love and meet someone. So, and I was also still cooking. I've just published my 6th cookbook, so I was doing cooking anyway. And this has become a sideline, but a very successful one, and has brought happiness to many others. Because I say I've been married now for a long while, but I could have stopped it. But I didn't. And it is a great way of meeting new people in a very safe way, because online dating can be quite risky or fake. And for whatever reason you are single, maybe you are recently divorced, or maybe you're widowed, and you want to meet someone new, you could go to the local restaurant and someone says, oh, look who's she with, or look who's he with. And you feel like a goldfish bowl. So by coming to my home, nobody else knows who is there, and it is safe for the other people there, the other guests, because the only thing they're parting with is their email address, and they can either connect with them all or no one. And when you are single, you want to meet other single friends. Maybe all your friends are married.
Yeah.
So after they come to your house and then you pass on the email addresses of everyone, they go off and then start communicating. Do they come back to you? So
I get lovely emails the next day. Oh, watch out Monday mornings. Oh yes. I'll say, well, they do tell me. I'm often the last person to know that they're dating, because when I connect with them again, would you like to book in? They'll say, actually, I'm busy. Or some of them will say, well, actually, I'm dating. But a lot of them will tell me that they met up with someone a few times and it's going very well.
So you get a lot of regulars that come back if they haven't found.
A bit of both. And the basis that it's a story of success. They date. It could be 2-3 years' time. I've been doing this 12 years.
Right.
And they could come back. I mean, I've had situations where a very nice man, he was divorced and he met someone. And very sadly, she died. And then he came back again.
Right.
So they know Denise is around. Date on a Plate is the place to go. And they book in. And that's why I've continued it and extended the age groups.
Has there been a lot of marriages?
Yes. Yes, there have. So
Any
that's
disappointment?
I was
Anyone
gonna
who's
ask that
actually got
question,
married?
what, divorce off the met? I mean, do you know what? I do my little bit at the Date on Plate. What they do afterwards, it is up to them. But
Yes.
I do bring them a good time, and to go out socially and say, oh, I had a really good evening.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, because you can go somewhere and you take one step in and you want to take 2 steps out.
Yeah. You know, I've just noticed you brought this dish here, so tell us a bit more about it and how it was prepared and what would happen if this dish was served at Date on a Plate.
Well, what I decided to do for today's programme was to do something that was simple and stylish, because when people come to Date on a Plate, they're either looking to recreate something that they can do romantically for somebody else, so it's quick, easy and stylish, or they just want to have a good food. So for whatever reason, maybe the guy is divorced and now's got to cook for his kids. So what we have here is plaited. It's 2 strings of strips, shall we say, of salmon and 1 of cod. Okay. So with a cocktail stick, like you plait your hair, you put the salmon, cod, salmon, cocktail stick, plait it like you would hair, cocktail stick at the end, put it on a tray with baking parchment paper, a splash of maybe some champagne or a little wine, salt and pepper, cover it with baking parchment paper, put it in the oven about 15 minutes. That's all you have to do.
I don't know if the camera can see it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. They've got a shot there. I'm going to bring it to this camera. Don't drop it.
We've got some.
There you go. Look at that. Don't that look
I must
gorgeous?
say, it smells gorgeous too.
It looks. Well,
I think I'm going to actually taste
it.
Okay. Just to highlight, it's sitting on a bed of leek and pea puree, so something very healthy, and then there are potato wedges with a little dusting of paprika, and the sauce is, let's see, there's horseradish, sour cream, and a little apple puree. And I promise you can do the whole thing in half an hour.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going to try it out and I'm going to taste a bit, because I have to, while they're eating away, I have to ask the questions. But you know, Denise, I wanted to ask, we've been talking about people being fussy. I'm sure you've had a few cases where people have been fussy when they've come along to like Date on a Plate and they've done something that's like, oh, could you give us any examples or even tips to notice when the person's being slightly fussy or they're, you know, relaxed, and you can go with the flow with the relationship?
Well, beforehand, I actually give out an application form to ask about dietary requirements.
Okay.
And I'm very happy to accommodate whatever they ask me, whether they're gluten-free, nut-free, vegetarian, or dairy-free. But when they say that then they're vegetarian, and then they've told me they're vegan, and then they're vegan and they are raw vegan, I'm thinking, okay, are you going to meet someone when you're so particular about what you're going to eat? Would you perhaps be a little bit relaxed if you're allergic to it, or perhaps you just don't like? What are we asking? Because I do ask the question, are you allergic to it? Because you can camouflage it. Now on that table there with the puree, it's leek and pea puree. Now it's just say something really very tasty. And as you would with a child, you don't necessarily tell them what's in it, but they taste it, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah.
And then you tell them, oh, I don't normally like aubergine's a great example of that.
Yeah.
They say they don't like it, and they taste it, oh, this is nice, what is it?
And then you tell them what it is.
And they love it. Oh, yeah, I haven't had it since, oh, it was school days, and they had something when they were little and never ate it since.
Yeah.
And those childhood memories, you know, repeat on it, and they just won't touch it. But actually, I do listen to allergies because that's important, but if they're fussy,
of course,
okay, you know, be a bit more relaxed.
So then one question I did want to ask, I mean, our expert, our relationship expert, Pam, who was talking before, she was telling us a little bit about how the person would interact with a waiter. Have you noticed interaction between the couples when you've noticed, they're a match, and because they did this or they did that, or maybe not that one, maybe that person might end up with so-and-so instead?
You watch eye contact. Good thing there.
Right.
And what goes on and how they treat others. I'll bring out the dishes, I'm serving the food, and is it ladies first, or do the men grab and give it to themselves? Are they being a little bit selfish? Are they looking about themselves?
Right.
Table manners is another one, how they're
Really?
holding their knives and fork, or how they're interacting with their fellow guests, or just are they sort of taking over? Remember, there's 12 people there, me makes 13, so
Right.
can be quite noisy. Or do they really want to be talking perhaps their latest heart attack at the dinner table? That's going to be
I mean, I've asked my questions. I feel like I've been hogging our lovely Denise. Ladies, do you have any other questions as well?
What's the most popular dish that comes out of your cookings for the couples? Like, for me, I like a lot of seafood, and my husband also likes that. So I know that we have that in common, and we can relate to that kind of dish. What's your most popular dish?
Well, I do different themes, so I actually control what themes, and some people actually don't like too spicy food, so they actually will ask me what's on the menu, and I think more people prefer chicken than fish. There's more people that are a little fussy on that aspect. And I don't cook red meat that much. Firstly, more people tend to say, well, I don't eat red meat. But also, you remember, we've only got an hour to cook, and red meat takes a lot longer.
Can you tell a person by the food that they eat?
No.
Well, you know, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on, Denise, and obviously we'll put some more information about you on our website and so on. Thank you for bringing the food. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not going to go to waste. We're going to probably bang it in the microwave afterwards, but we are going to be going to a short break, and then we'll be back with our final tips and conclusions.